What's happening, everyone? James Lynch here. So Jorge Masvidal was on Ariel Helwani's show yesterday, and they were talking about the BMF belt because obviously Masvidal was the originator of the BMF title, and Max Holloway will be defending his BMF title coming up here at UFC 326 against Charles Oliveira. But there was a quote that Max Holloway said that Helwani references in this interview, and it's getting him a lot of heat. We're going to watch the clip. We're going to watch Max Holloway's response to this, and then I'll give my take on this whole thing after the fact. So here is Ariel Helwani. And again, Ariel thought this was a good clip to post. He posted it himself. This isn't like taken out of context. This is Ariel Helwani talking to Masvidal about the BMF belt. Let's have a watch.
Max Holloway said this on his YouTube channel. The BMF belt to me personally represents just a bad mother effer. You know, blessed man forever. Only very few get the fight for this belt. The belt was a laughing stock before. All of a sudden I got it and everyone wants to fight for it now. It's hilarious. It's fun to me. What do you make of that? Him saying that it was a laughing stock before, because not many people held that belt. You were the one that put it on the map.
I mean, I love Max as a fighter. If that's his opinion, that's his opinion. You know, I think he's one of the best fighters to do it. He's a dog when he goes in there. But whether it had been me or Nate fighting Max, it wasn't gonna be like his best night either, I think, you know. So I don't think how in laughing stock in what way, because the skill level is obviously there, you know. I mean, I would love to fight Max just on a stylistic matchup. I think he's a great stand-up fighter. I just think I'm better. So I don't know what he means by laughing stock, but you know.
You take offense to that?
Yeah, I guess, because I competed for it first, but at the same time I don't take offense to it. He's held both belts, so he could say that because he had one belt and he's like, oh, I don't need that other belt, you know. Whatever.
Yeah.
But now he fought for the belt and loves the belt, and that's the one that he be parading the most around town. So it's funny.
First of all, I've given Masvidal a lot of flack on this channel. I didn't like the whole thing with him and Colby where he sucker punched him and all that. I think he handles this question very great here. Because again, Max Holloway's a legend. You don't really hear many people have issues with Max Holloway. He's a pretty nice guy. And when I heard this quote, I'm like, did Holloway really say that? Like, when has Max Holloway kind of disrespected anyone really? He doesn't really do that, right? Holloway, I mean, the whole joke is that, you know, the NMF, right? Like Stephen Thompson talks about this, about the NMF, him and Max Holloway. Like Holloway is beloved by pretty much everyone. So that's when I heard this quote, it was like a little bit weird. Then I see this morning, Max Holloway responds to this. Let's watch this or have a look at this tweet. He says, I meant people were saying it was a laughing stock, and one of them people was you, Ariel Helwani. Stop trying to start shit, 43 years old dude. So, you know, you messed up when, Max Holloway's coming after you, because Max Holloway doesn't come after anyone, I should say. He's an extremely nice guy. Now, here's my take on this whole thing after seeing what was said here, and then we'll read some of the comments. I defend Ariel Helwani a lot on this channel. I think there's a lot of people that don't like him because of the position he has in this industry, getting to interview some of your favorite fighters. And I think that's a tough job to do. And I think people unfairly a lot of times give him crap. This is an instance where you can absolutely criticize Ariel. And I'm with people who are upset by him doing this and instigating, because that's what he's basically doing. And here's the weird thing too. And this is why the thumbnail says pointless. Why are you even trying to start any sort of beef between Holloway and Masvidal? They're never going to fight each other. Masvidal's not going to fight at lightweight anymore. Right? Like, this isn't even a thing. Masvidal's a welterweight now, I would assume, right? He hasn't fought at lightweight in a very long time. Holloway just moved up to lightweight. He's going to stay there. There's no reason for him to move up. Like, I could maybe understand if Ariel was trying to make a future fight between these two, but I'll put money out there right now. Masvidal's never fighting Max Holloway. So what is the point in doing this? Like, you're disrespecting Holloway. Now, there could also be the argument that maybe Ariel didn't hear the quote right and is saying it in this reference and he got it wrong. Okay, well, if that's the case, then he should be coming out and saying, look, I messed up the quote. That's my fault. But Ariel's done this before, and he has instigated, and this is where he loses me sometimes. And again, I have a lot of respect for Ariel Helwani, but I don't like it when he does this stuff. He did the same thing with Jamal Hill a number of years ago. Do you remember this? Where Hill and Yuri were going back and forth on Twitter, and it was very friendly. You could see it was friendly from the outside, and Ariel poses a question to Yuri saying, like, what do you make of him talking all this trash to you behind your back and all that? And that's not really what happened. I'm paraphrasing. That's not exactly what happened, but it was something along the lines of like, what do you think about Jamal talking smack about you? But it was a very, very friendly exchange between the two on Twitter. So he's done this before. He did this with Jerkis Duplessis. Remember, with the whole comments about Africa and all that? Like, he does this every now and then, and this is where he loses me sometimes, where I just don't think this is necessary, especially in this case where it's two guys who aren't going to fight each other. So, I just like, this is because, there's a lot of times where people will crap on Ariel for a variety of different things. And I'm like, okay, what don't you like about him? They can't give specific examples. This is the type of stuff that Ariel deserves to be criticized for, because there's just no need for it. There's no need to rile things up. There's no need to make Max Holloway look bad. Like, why are you going after Holloway of all people? Right? Like, you know, it just like, I get you need to get clicks and news and all that stuff, but I just think going after one of the nicest guys in our industry is not a good look here. And you look at the responses, I'm not alone here. A lot of people upset with what Ariel Helwani said. You're going to see some really over the line comments here. We'll skip some of those, but yeah, here's some of the comments. Ariel's an instigator. You know, someone saying loudmouth George trying to stay relevant. I mean, it's not Masvidal's fault. Again, I thought Masvidal handled this great. Max will beat him for 5 rounds. Yeah, that's not happening. So we got people that are obviously defend, because this is on Ariel's account. So the people following him are pro Ariel. So you're going to get a lot of people, you know, he did well on this one. He didn't do well on this one because he took the quote out of context. So completely ignored what Max's comment actually meant and made it seem like an attack on George. Good job, Ariel. 94 likes on this, right? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people here going after Masvidal, but I thought Masvidal handled this great. He didn't really go after Holloway. He said, yeah, I don't like that comment, but he didn't say Holloway's a loser. He's never, you know, he's never won a title at lightweight or something. I don't know. He could say whatever he wants, right? It doesn't matter. But yeah, I just don't think this is a good look. You know, stop pulling up pins and rolling grenades in. Let's see here. Yeah, so someone's saying dude is clearly looking for a payday. So, I mean, again, so the other issue here too is, because you're seeing some of the, you're so gross, Ariel, you're seeing some of the comments here. Now people are believing that Holloway actually said this. So that's another issue I have, that you're taking someone out of context and you're running with it. I did a video on this, maybe a month or so ago. Remember the whole Chimaev and Imavov thing, where there was one outlet that posted that said that Chimaev would never fight Imavov. But if you see the full quote, he says, if UFC calls, I'll fight anybody, basically was what Chimaev said. So he didn't really say he doesn't want to fight Imavov. He says he would prefer not to. There's a big difference between I won't fight someone and I would prefer not to. So this is kind of that same thing that's happening here, where you've got all these people believing that Holloway is mocking Masvidal, which he's not. And now you've got people that are defending, whatchamacallit, Holloway, and saying, yeah, Masvidal, they're defending kind of Ariel, what he's saying here, and going after Masvidal when it's like, Masvidal didn't do anything wrong. Like, imagine if, you know, you had, someone like going after you, how are you going to react to it? I thought Masvidal handled this quite well. Anyways, you look on the post here on Holloway, it's all pro Holloway here. So you go read these posts. My good friend Ed Carbajal says it's what he buttered his bread with his whole career. You have 24 hours to apologize. Tell him. Mayhem Miller saying, hey Max, he's giving you a promotional tool to make a favorable matchup. They're not going to fight. Like, do people not know what weight classes are? When was the last time Masvidal fought at lightweight? He's not fighting at lightweight anymore, guys. He's almost 40. Like, when have guys later in there? He's 41. He's going to be 42 this year. When was the last time he fought? When was the Nate Diaz fight? It was at 175. Dude, he hasn't fought at lightweight since, was it Cerrone? No, even Cerrone was welterweight. Ross Pearson. That was welterweight. What fight was it? I got to go. Was it Ali Quinta? Lightweight. Caesar for, yeah, so 2015. Over a decade ago. Right? Because the rest of these were welterweight, if I'm not mistaken. I think he had maybe one lightweight fight in between there. No, these are all welterweight. So, like, you know, Mayhem Miller being like, hey Max, he gave you a free promotional tour. They're not going to fight each other. Why would Holloway move up another weight class to fight Masvidal? And Masvidal's not coming down to fight at 55 at 41. So again, pointless thing to do here, in my opinion. These people don't have individual achievements like you do. They have to stir things up to get noticed. Well, it's Ariel who stirred things up, not Masvidal. Again, Masvidal's not the bad guy here. I don't know if Ariel's been taking shots at Holloway for that long, but fair enough. Anyways, you can see here, everyone's on Max's side. Now, again, they're all following Max. Of course, they're going to be there. But yeah, that's kind of my that's my issue. Again, I think Ariel does some great work, and I'm not doing this to crap at him, but I think this is an example of where he does get people turned away from him, and then they just think he does this all the time. Like, he has done this before, but I don't think, it's not like Ariel does this every show where he's trying to, you know, stir the pot, so to speak. So yeah, I just think bad look here from Ariel Helwani. No need to go after Max Holloway and taking things out of context. And listen, if he really got the quote wrong, right, from Max Holloway, then come out and say, hey, my bad. Apologize to him, because there's no reason to go after Holloway. Again, that fight's never going to happen, Max Holloway, Jorge Masvidal. So let me know your thoughts in the comments about this whole thing. I just think it's in poor taste. I think it never looks good. And it looks bad on all of us, because there's all this idea that the media is always trying to stir things up. I don't do this stuff. I know a lot of other people who don't do this stuff. Yeah, you got to get your clicks, but there's other ways to do it. You don't have to throw another fighter under the bus, which is essentially what Ariel did here to Max Holloway. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @Lynch on Sports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.